Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. Good morning. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky.
You are too.
We are talking about expectations.
Yes, and intentions.
There's such a distinction there.
There is.
And why has it taken me 49? I'm 49.
Are you?
Am I 49?
You look so young and vibrant.
Wait, am I 49? I was going to say it's taken me 49 years to actually learn this lesson. And then I just had this, like one of those old people moments where I'm like, am I 49 years old?
Barely. Just barely 49.
I'm only 50 this year?
Aren't you excited?
Okay, we have to do something crazy.
Let's go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Let's set an intention.
Let's do. It's taken me that long to learn this lesson that there is a very fine distinction between setting your intention and not letting that bleed over into expectation.
Yeah, and I often, even though I say that I let go of the expectation, like I can set intentions and then show up and try to do my best and not expect everything out of it. Mm-hmm. I realized when we had the conversation that oftentimes behind the curtain, I do have these expectations that I subconsciously create.
Because it's so much easier to say, oh yeah, let go of your expectations than to actually have that happen. And okay, so here's the story. Over the weekend, Jason and I, we recorded our first episode of our TV show that we're doing. Oh my gosh, can you believe we're doing a TV show, by the way?
Well, so that's one of the things we let go of our expectation on, and the universe just brought it to us.
I know.
Ethereal TV.
It's not that I gave up on the dream. I finally just said, you know what? If it's meant to be, it'll happen. Yep. And I stopped chasing it.
And we just kept showing up as our authentic selves and allowing for things to just do what they do.
And I told God and the universe, hey, I'm going to continue to train and do my best and learn and grow and
put ourselves in the right environments and around the right people. And that's living lucky. And we talk about this all the time. That when you align yourself with your values and your desires and your divine purpose, that the right people show up in the right spaces and the right opportunities and the right timing.
And that's exactly what happened.
And when you keep forcing your expectations on it, so you can put your intention in it, but when you force your expectations on it, a lot of times you might be focused in the wrong area because you're looking for your expectations and not what's being provided.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's a lesson inside the lesson inside the lesson.
Well, it goes perfectly with what happened at the Fringe Festival when we went.
Okay. So over the weekend, our first episode was that we went to the Fringe Festival and we were just going to allow the day to happen. Our intention for the episode was to maybe explore authenticity. And we were going to talk to actors and actresses because the Fringe Festival is all about people who are in the art space and they're putting themselves out in the creative hemisphere. They're on stage, life is a stage and we're all just actors.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about the Fringe is you're creating this act or this play and the audience gets to choose whether or not you're being fully authentic, or creating a new character for yourself.
That's true. That is true.
And the beauty of it is...
that's interesting that you brought in the audience perspective, because I was thinking from the actor's
So often we hide behind the character that we're playing in life. And then we have the opportunity to show up fully as ourselves. And then we feel like we have to pull back. Like that's what happened for me a lot of times is when life is happening really well for me, it's when I'm showing up fully and authentically as myself.
Yes.
But then I get timid or I shy away from it because I think, well, what if they keep seeing all of me and they recognize the flaws? But the truth is, we all have flaws, and we're all working through it.
You have flaws?
Oh yeah.
I think you're flawsome. That's what I think.
Well, I am flawsome, and that's the thing is, we're all working, doing the best we can from where we are with what we have. And we know the truth behind the curtain.
Okay, so here's the story. We have, our video camera. We're all set up. We have set the intention to go to the Fringe Festival and to explore authenticity. We get there.
And it's like the Chevy Chase Vacation where they show up to Wally World. The parking lot's empty.
The parking lot is empty. There's nobody there.
We showed up a little early.
No, we didn't, though. We didn't. It started at 10 o'clock. We were there right at 10 o'clock. There was nobody there. Nobody there. In fact, they had to move the gate in order for us to get in. And all of the booths, still had they were still closed. There was literally nobody even opening up. There was still trash on the field from the night before. It literally was empty. And so I thought, okay, this episode is really off to a great start. Oh, and the other thing is Jason stepped in an ant bed as we're getting out of the car. Our camera was set on the wrong setting. So we had some technical difficulties right off the bat. There was nobody there to interview. So I'm like, okay, here we are on our first episode and we're literally making shit out of Shinola or Shinola out of, what I'm talking about.
The intentions were set, and that goes back to that all plans are perfect until you put them in action and you meet resistance.
And our whole philosophy is we're living lucky. Like everything in life is working for us. And I'm thinking to myself, how are we going to turn this into an episode?
Yeah. When do we have our moment of how is this working for me?
And so I'm revealing my true thoughts right now. So in my head, I'm thinking, Jana, just have faith, because I've often said my biggest vice in my whole life has been doubt, fear, and uncertainty. And even with this show, the biggest reason why I have really been scared about putting myself out there has been, in fact, the reason I've been so hesitant in even stepping out into this whole realm of this new career and becoming a thought leader in this field is because in the very, very back of my head, I have this voice that sometimes can get a little loud, and it can be the doubt, the fear, and the uncertainty voice.
Yep.
And that's just me being human and real.
And authentic.
Yes.
And that's really what it was about. And the true story is that we went through this whole thing. We ran into some kids and their parents. We had fun.
Yes,
but
so
we didn't
ended
get
up
a
in
lot of product for the show.
We ended up there was like a little kiddie area. And so we're like, okay, well, you know what? Let's go over there because at least we can get a little movement. So we were blowing bubbles. And Bubbles isn't a clown. And then we did a little painting, and again, like Jason just said, it was fun. However, we didn't really have any press releases that we could give the parents to have us videotape the kids. So that limited what we were able to put on film and not. So it was just Jason and I doing these kiddie activities. And it was kind of hoaxy, if I might say.
It felt fruitless.
It did.
We ended up back in the car 2 hours later.
Yeah, with snow cones, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a snow cone in I don't know how long because I don't do well with aspartame, and I'm thinking this isn't even in my value system. Like I don't even eat snow cones, but we needed something
to grab a lesson from. And
to
one
grab
of the
a
lessons
lesson.
was we got this cup of plain ice.
We did. We spent $11 for ice. I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing?
2 cups of plain ice. And the lesson in that, what we were just going to leave with the lesson of, when in life, we get this life, and it's our responsibility to add the flavor to it.
We get to choose the flavor.
We get to co-create life by adding flavor.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, we're
reaching,
picking for straws here. We get back to the car and we're eating our damn snow cones, and I'm thinking, wow, we're going to the top with this show. That's what's going to happen.
But we did the best we could.
And we got in the car, and I said, I'm not sure we achieved our goals exactly. However, we did the best that we possibly could with what we had.
Yes. We showed up. We did show up fully.
And we sat there and ate the snow cone. And as we ate that snow cone, we literally said, this is the best snow cone I've ever had. And I even turned to Jason. I said, you put the perfect amount of flavor in this snow cone. And you said, right?
Right. I'm skilled in these matters. And it's been 25 years since I've had a Slurpee or an Icy or anything like that.
And we literally sat there and we had so much gratitude for that snow cone. And as we put ourselves in that state of gratitude,
which comes back to the ask, believe, receive, and
appreciate. And once we got into a state of gratitude,
while we're sitting in the car getting ready to
leave, and we're sweating. I mean, Jason had those moobs where his boob
sweat
had sweat to where I'm like, wow, that's
I'm soaking through my shirt.
Yes. And we're sitting there, we're like just trying to cool off. My makeup had dripped off my face. We're sitting there enjoying our snow cones. We're getting ready to leave. And guess what? Jason looks in the rearview mirror and he says, oh, look, it's the Fussy Virgo. It's this big hippie van and it's full of art. And Jason said, we're here. I know it's hot outside. I mean, by now it's like 11:30 and
we had kind of rounded the bend.
We did.
It was one of those things where we had not a lot, but enough of something, but we hadn't really gotten everything that we wanted.
And the parking lot was still empty. But at that point, the Fussy Virgo drives in.
It was the universe providing everything that we had wanted. And we were just we kind of were out there. I was putting out my expectations and what we were going to find. And then before we left, we gave ourselves the right amount of time to just sit, be grateful, and appreciate.
We did.
And then here comes in the rearview mirror
the Fussy Virgo,
light and joy. And we had this powerful conversation.
Yeah, Jason says we should probably just get out and go say hello. She's an old friend of ours. So we get out and we just decided to go over there and say, hey, what's up? We want to see your art van. It was the most powerful conversation. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. She is light. She is joy. And she brought exactly what we were looking for. She probably is the most authentic person I've ever met in my entire life. And she is on the same path as far as self-development and wanting to impact the world that Jason and I are on. And it just felt like, la la.
It was perfect. It was really the culmination of living lucky and waiting for and allowing for the right people, the right time, the right space. I mean, it couldn't have been any better. In fact, we even had an opportunity to park in 2 other parking places on the way in.
Oh no, we had a place. We could have picked the lot. There were multiple 10 lots, and we could have picked whichever one because they were all empty.
For some reason, I was drawn to this particular lot, and that's the one where she ended up coming to. We didn't even know if she was going to be there.
I know, it was perfect.
And we haven't seen her in years.
And so that, my friends, is the difference between setting an intention which is something that we control, and letting go of expectation, which is something that the environment, the universe controls. So again, it's a co-creation.
Yes.
And it's a dance. It's a dance between the two.
Yeah, you get on the dance floor, but then allow for the music to start moving you.
And you and I both know when we dance, it's a partnership. We show up together. And even though we're partners and I have an idea of your dance moves and I have an idea of where you're going to go, it is letting go of control and realizing, okay, if you decide to go this way, I need to follow.
Yeah, we just move together. And it's pretty incredible.
In fact, after having this conversation, I almost feel like we need to go back and recap what happened yesterday, because I don't think people really understood everything behind the curtain that was happening, because we didn't get all of this on camera. Do you know what I'm saying? We did our best.
It's hard to get all of it on camera when a lot of it is thought.
But they don't see all of the layers that are happening. And it was perfect. And I'm so grateful. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the spirit guides and the universe for providing such a wonderful first episode. And I hope everyone will check it out. It's going to be on Ethereal TV. And we will give you all the details. So hop on board, because it's going to be a ride.
Yeah. So set your intentions, let go of all your expectations, and keep living lucky.
Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.